What's going on, workforce? Bryan here, and breaking down the non-information news that we got out of the Final Fantasy XI Fan Fest. I have to say that I'm not upset at all. Like, I'm more curious than ever. Like, waking up, I'm like, was there anything announced? Was there anything talked about? And it doesn't appear that there was. Now, that's not to say there's not interviews that are going to be had. There's not to say that there might not be any information coming out about it, but I just woke up just unbelievably just like curious, and even oddly enough, just going and asking myself, is this a good thing? Is this a really good sign from a positive perspective? So to get you where and how we got here, where we are today, back in September, Yoshi P sat down and gave an update on Final Fantasy XI with DualShockers. And so he said, being in charge of Business Division 5, 11 is still part of my group, and I can tell you that right now it's still going strong, and there are no plans to end it anytime soon. This year we have a lot of patches and a lot of plans, and we're going to talk about it in the coming months, even if it's not a new expansion. Yet the team and the producers want to liven up the project, so you're going to see the results of that in the next few months of work within the team as well as the PR teams. You'll feel that the game is still going strong. If and when, maybe even in 10 years in the future when Final Fantasy XI finally does end, yes, we'll be completely open to doing some kind of promotion with those players. Maybe if they move into 14, we could give them a year free of subscription or something like that. And so that in and of itself, this was back in September, was very interesting. We have a lot of plans. They want to liven up the project. Also, there's a PR kind of piece to it. Then obviously people have been speculating that ninjas might be being paid to play Final Fantasy XI. I don't think so. He actually says that he's subscribed to the main game and then he's just playing on a private server. But this isn't really a ninja story. Then they announced the December 2nd fan festival, and it just seemed to coincide that we might be getting some news about Final Fantasy XI. The question that I want to propose to you, that what I'd love to know your guys' thoughts on, if anybody's out there is disappointed, I understand. We're gonna shift focus though, because I don't know. I don't want to be, I don't want to be crazy in this regards, but there's a sense of hope that I'm actually getting out of this, and that hope is coming from the fact that between the interview here in September with DualShockers, the announcement, and then obviously the December 2nd event, there's a couple questions that come to mind. Is it possible that the reaction to Diablo Immortal had any kind of impact in them presenting anything about Final Fantasy XIV Mobile? I don't know, because we already knew about Final Fantasy XI Mobile. And so, for me, I don't think that's necessarily what's going to be the biggest kind of piece or biggest weight there. It could mean, if the hopeful side of me means is like they look at it and say, oh my gosh, people are fine with it if we also bring it to other platforms. Could it be the success of the Switch and obviously other systems to say, maybe this 11 mobile can be something bigger for us? Maybe the success and the fact that continuing interest in Final Fantasy XI shows them that there is this demand for that product, there is this market there, and maybe they're just not ready to actually display anything to us now, and that could be positive. It depends on really, so many unknowns. Then finally, obviously we were talking about that, but Final Fantasy XI Classic, kind of the resurgence. Is it where they are just not ready? Is Nexion themselves struggling with the development cycle? It was released just even last year that Yoshi P was quoted saying that they'll show off Final Fantasy XI when the battle system's finalized, and then he knows exactly where it's at. And this was in November of 2017 that he said that he gave that quote. It's been over a year. I think it's at least been 2 years since they've announced it. We've seen kind of just a trickling of information. And so when is the right time to reveal Final Fantasy XI Mobile? When is the right time to provide that kind of news? It just seemed logical, and we said, especially in the last video, let's make sure we temper our expectations. So for my expectations was maybe we'd see something about mobile, and yeah, it's probably going to be just on mobile. It's not what I'm wanting, but then we didn't get anything, and it just, instead of being disappointed, again, like I said, I'm just more curious. I wish I was a fly on the wall. I wish we could know more about it. And then if there was something planned, or if there still is something planned for this year. They've already said that there's a little something coming in 11 with the December update. Was Yoshi P just alluding to the little version updates that we get with Final Fantasy 11 every month? I don't know. I'd love to know your thoughts. Like, is mobile struggling? Did Diablo Immortal have an impact? Is Nexion the right company behind this? Is the project shifting due to just the fact that Final Fantasy 11 is still going strong? And then out of all of that, whatever you guys think on that, I want to know. But out of all that, then, when is the right time to reveal this project to us? If it is in a ready state, if they have, but is it then the thing that I just keep defaulting back to is that it's in flux, that it's changing, that the theme, and the only thing that does concern me here is that with a Final Fantasy project that's announced, it seems they seem to really struggle getting that out, off the ground to us, at least any kind of information. And case in point, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Final Fantasy XI mobile. I don't know. I'd love to know your thoughts. I'd love to know what you're feeling. I'm sure there's some disappointment this morning, and I just hopefully want to just have that kind of conversation with you guys about it. And the thing is that if it's evolving into a bigger project, something that what we've all talked about, console, Switch, mobile, that whole thing, because over the course of the last 2 years, especially with Fortnite, the landscape has really shifted. And so the question is that are they responding to that shifting landscape in a way that will essentially be something to excite and delight us for many years to come? Final Fantasy XI celebrating, I think, its 16th anniversary, which is just insane. And Yoshi P thinking, like, if it runs out of steam here in 10 years, maybe they'll do some kind of promotion to kind of put people into 14. That's real. I think, that's definitely the light at the end of the tunnel. That's the thing to be excited about. That's the thing to be interested in. I guess just as somebody who has really been enjoying the return to 11, it makes me really more invested into what's going on with the fans. There's some people making HD textures, and I actually have downloaded that pack. I'm going to see if I can't get that installed and play around with it and see how it looks. And we'll try to do that on stream as well for you guys if it doesn't blow up my system. I need to make sure I back it up. And then beyond that, like, you have people kind of trying to build 11 in the Unreal 4 engine, and it just looks really fascinating, really interesting. Obviously, people, the private servers are booming, the retail servers are booming. Final Fantasy 11 is just it's an interesting fall. I think I'm going to leave it at that. For Work To Game, guys, my name is Bryan. I hope we get some news soon. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.
What's going on, Workforce? Chuck here. It's been a good long month, and I just wanted to say thank you so much for hitting that subscribe button. I just wanted to invite my friend Terry, the T-Rex from Texas, out here. Howdy, y'all. How's it going? This is a really fun end screen video. We should have written a script, right, Chuck? Oh, I agree, totally. In fact, I think both our voices sound exactly the same. What are we to do? I don't know. I think we need to get a better voice actor. Yes, I agree. Which one of us is talking? Ah. They're still here. What are we gonna do? I guess we're gonna stop and record.